Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything. Knowledge is realizing that the street is one way. Wisdom is looking in both directions anyway. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Don't listen to the person who has the answers. Listen to the person who has the questions. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. You need experience to gain wisdom. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Everything that exists in your life does so because of two things: something you did or something you didn't do. Knowledge and ego are directly related. The less knowledge, the greater the ego. The leader is one who, out of the clutter, brings simplicity, out of discord harmony, and out of difficulty opportunity. Just because you believe in something does not mean that it is true. We cannot get to where we dream of being tomorrow unless we change our thinking today. Don't wait for miracles. Your whole life is a miracle. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Persistence is the most powerful force on earth. It can move mountains. Genius is making complex ideas simple, not making simple ideas complex. Everyone knew it was impossible, until a fool who didn't know came along and did it. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Logic can take you from point A to point B. Imagination can take you wherever you want. A ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. There comes a point in your life when you need to stop reading other people's books and write your own. Men marry women with the hope they will never change. Women marry men with the hope they will change. Invariably they are both disappointed. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or objects. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. The value of a college education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think. Three great forces rule the world: stupidity, fear, and greed. Success comes from curiosity, concentration, perseverance, and self-criticism. The state is made for man. not men for the state. That is to say, the state should be our servant and not we its slaves. Women always worry about things that men forget. Men always worry about things women remember. Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. I don't need to know everything. I just need to know where to find it when I need it. The horizon of many people is a circle with a radius of 0. They call this their point of view. Most people see what is, and never see what can be. Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. I'm more interested in the future than in the past, because the future is where I intend to live. Intelligence is not the ability to store information, but to know where to find it. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. I refuse to engage in an intellectual battle with an unarmed man. Do not grow old, no matter how long you live. Never cease to stand like curious children before the great mystery into which we were born. A great thought begins by seeing something differently, with a shift of the mind's eye. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. You do not really understand something unless you can explain it to your grandmother. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. The individual who has experienced solitude will not easily become a victim of mass suggestion. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. If I had only 1 hour to save the world, I would spend 55 minutes defining the problem, and only 5 minutes finding the solution. The true definition of madness is repeating the same action over and over, hoping for a different result. God reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists. I have only 2 rules which I regard as principles of conduct. The first is, have no rules. The second is, be independent of the opinion of others. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity. Even if you have to go through hell, go without hesitation. Live with purpose. Don't let people or things around you get you down. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. It may be possible to fight intolerance, stupidity, and fanaticism separately, but when they come together there is no hope. The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size. I always found I was in the best of company, alone. 3 rules of work. Out of clutter find simplicity. From discord find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. The ideas that have lighted my way have been kindness, beauty, and truth. A bartender is just a pharmacist with a limited inventory. I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in the silence, and the truth comes to me. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong, it is character. If you can't explain what you're doing to a 9-year-old, then either you still don't understand it very well, or it's not all that worthwhile in the first place. There is a driving force more powerful than steam, electricity, and nuclear power: the will. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up, but when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. Stupidity is a personal achievement which transcends national boundaries. People like us, who believe in physics, know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. Many of the things you can count don't count. Many of the things you can't count really count.